this lens right here, the Viltrox 27 f1.2 for the Fuji system, I'm like, yo, this lens makes my footage look like I'm using a full frame. And yo, I've been using this lens for quite some time now, and I must say that the quality that I get from this lens is amazing. I think that the 27 is like the perfect focal length for the Fuji system. So for example, I typically shoot with, this is a Fuji XT5, and when I pair it with the Viltrox, yes, so when I pair it with the Viltrox, like, I don't know, like, I think this lens is okay, which was a bit smaller, but this lens is okay, right? So let me tell you more about this lens. So one thing I hate about the lens now is really, well, the only thing I hate about the lens is the lens hood. It's a very thin plastic, but I realize that it doesn't really, like, stays on like the Viltrox 75, because I don't know, like, it keeps on falling off. I'm not sure why. Like, I'm really not sure why, because like when I was shooting Carnival in Jamaica like 2 weeks ago, like I was there shooting, not realizing that the lens would fall off, and then I had to like search a crowd, and bear in mind this crowd is extremely thick, and I mean extremely thick. So to like search a crowd for the lens hood, I'm like, okay. I found the lens hood, I'm like, yo, so easy. So I had to like use the camera for the entire day without the lens hood, and you know that, yo, use the lens hood to like block certain unnecessary light, you know, lens flare and stuff like that. Aside of just that, that's the only issue for me, you get me? And without the lens hood, and without the lens hood, this is what it looks like. Like, it looks like the Viltrox, no, it looks like the Fuji XF56, like it looks similar to that focal length right now without the lens hood. And 27 gives you a 40, you know, focal length in full frame. So the distance from where I'm shooting versus where I'm standing is pretty good. I don't have to like, yo, you know, so I don't really have to like shout to, hey, can you like turn? Nah, the distance is pretty perfect. Like, this focal length on the Fuji system just works out pretty good. So this was my favorite lens, to be honest. So this is the XF18 1.4, but it's too wide, way too wide for what I want it for. So when I found out about the 27, I said, let me try it. I had the 23 1.4 from Viltrox, but I realized that that's still too wide. So when I got my hands on the 27, I realized that, yo, this is the perfect focal length. So it is like the carry around lens for me right now as it relates to the Fuji system. So I did quite a few, you know, shots with it, and then I realized that I don't need any other focal length that is about this size. So it's either I'm shooting on the 18 if I want to get a really wide shot, or the 27, which is perfect. This is, I don't know, I just think this is just a perfect mid-range focal length. The quality that I get from this lens is excellent. You get me? Super sharp, right? It's super sharp. But I want to do like I realized I never did any test footage as it relates to like shooting on the Fuji X-H2 in 8K. Let me see, like, how does it renders 8K footage? You get me? It renders this 4K footage pretty easily on the XT5 and even on the X-H2. But I've never really tested out the 8K. But I want to, you know, do a quick 8K test. Let me see what it feels like. You get me? With this nice lighting setup that I have. Alright, so this is me testing on the 8K on the Fuji X-H2 and see like how sharp the lens is shooting in 8K. Alright, set the mic properly. So yeah, it's actually picking up my face pretty good. Yeah, so this is me shooting in 8K. Well, I'm not sure who's going to really shoot in 8K for like a random shoot in 8K, but you know, the main reason why we have cameras that shoot in 8K, so we can actually punch in on the shots that we need. Oh, this actually looks pretty good so far. shooting at 1.2. You get me? 8K 30 shutter, 60 ISO 1000, and I have on an ND filter because like shooting with this lens wide open, you're going to need an ND filter. Worse when it comes down to shooting videos. So with photos, you're okay, but with videos, you're going to need an ND filter. Trust me, because the base ISO at 1000 on f/2 is crazy. So yeah, this is what it looks like shooting in 8K on the Fuji X-H2. Boom. So let's talk about autofocus. The autofocus is pretty good, but when there's, what I've realized is when there's too much things going on in the background, I don't know, it's kind of fighting to see what should be in focus. So typically I'll just have it on like single autofocus. No, not single, like center autofocus. I mean, so yeah, so like typically I have it in the center autofocus where I know that anything that's in the center is good. But when it comes down to like, shifting the autofocus to somewhere else, it's kind of weird. But I don't know, it works pretty good so far. It works pretty good. But I'm really for this lens as relates to stills. But when it comes down to stills, the autofocus is amazing. Like, I love how it looks on camera. The background separation works smooth, like works seamless for me. So picking up one of these lenses, yes, I think that this lens is so ideal for anybody who's shooting with a Fuji system. Like, it is super ideal. So guys, if you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in another video. Peace.